world will your legacy be? Yeah.
Welcome to the Week 7 Postgame Show. I am your host, Greg Horne. I'm here with one of our interns, Anna. Anna, how you doing?
I'm good.
Good, good. I mean, good is a good way. That's kind of like an easy segue. We had a great night of Legacy Leagues action. A lot of close games. This year's it's been a common theme of a lot of close games. So we're just going to kind of get right into it, and we'll get into the Run TMC Flint Tropics game, which Run TMC ended up taking 76-69, and this win does lock up Run TMC, the 1 seed for the playoffs. And I know you were on the court, so what did you see, and how did Run TMC take this one?
I mean, it was a good game. Run TMC started off strong. They came out with 21 points, getting an 11-point lead over Flint in the first quarter. And Flint kind of brick by brick chipped away at them in the second quarter, closing the gap to just allowing a 4-point difference in the second quarter. And third quarter, both scored 18 points. And same with fourth quarter, 15 points, but they couldn't close the gap there. It was a close game, tough for Flint Tropics. I know they had another game coming up later in the night, so it was kind of tough to watch them almost have that, but they got close. I mean, Stewart and Hudson were just destroying on the threes outside the paint. They were pretty unstoppable. And Flint put up a good fight with their defense, but they just couldn't close the gap.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that's going to be a common theme with Flint going forward. You know, I want to give a shout out to Run TMC. They only had 4 guys in the night, and they played a phenomenal game. And I think Reggie Stewart's really just leading these guys. You know, Brett Cody's kind of the 5th, 6th man. Usually he stepped up when he had to be put in the starting lineup. So all credit to Run TMC. And I think Flint, you know, going forward, they're just going to kind of have to find a third guy to really get the offense going. You know, TJ and Nick have been doing it all year, but they're going to need someone to step up, especially with Mike Bizzuto out for the Flint Tropics. You know, they're going to have to figure out kind of who's going to be that third wheel on their offense. But again, I love my boys Flint, but I want this to be all about Run TMC. Shout out Run TMC. You guys played a hell of a game. Only 4 guys. You didn't have Eric. You didn't have Rel. You didn't have Eric Langston. Didn't have Craig. And you guys look like you didn't miss a beat. So I think Run TMC is trending in a perfect direction going into the playoffs. So shout out to Joey and shout out to Run TMC. We'll get to the next game, which I saw. That was Get Money Back Outside Boys, and this was a really great game. I want to give the Back Outside Boys some credit. I was talking to one of the refs before the games. He thinks they're one of the hardest outs in the league. You know, right now they're sitting lower in the standings, but they're one of those teams who you just wouldn't want to see in the playoffs. Dante Hodge is super efficient and extremely talented. Kyle Kostner's good. James Harrington came back from an injury, and he really leads this team. He plays great defense, and I just think this Back Outside Boys team isn't scared of anyone. They're ready for you. They'll attack the basket, and they think they can beat anyone in this league, and that's a team that's really scary. And it wouldn't shock me if this team made a run going into the playoffs. So shout out to them. They played a great game. They could have taken this one, but the reason they didn't take this one was Kyle Davis and Get Money. And when Kyle Davis is on fire and really playing well, I don't know if there's a better basketball player in this league. I mean, he had 23 and 8 for 14 shooting, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals. He plays lockdown defense, and he hit one of those threes with about 6 to 8 seconds left in the game when Get Money was down by 1. It just shows kind of how Kyle Davis has the ice, he has the clutch factor, and he's not afraid for these big moments. I mean, he's a former finals MVP. He's a former champion. And this Get Money team, I said it every week, just keep plugging away, keep pushing. Finish the season strong. I think this team is another team like Run TMC, just trending in the right direction, kind of going into the playoffs. So shout out to these two teams. Get Money took it 69-67, but you know it was really a battle. So shout out to the McRae brothers, all 3 of them. And you know this was a great game, and I hope this might be a playoff rematch. So we might revisit this soon. But speaking of what Anna said, Flint Tropics did have a second game of the day. It was a doubleheader, which, you know, isn't easy in this league. It's a lot of running, takes a lot of stamina, but Flint Tropics did end up taking out Snipe Squad 66-65. It was a really close game. So, Anna, I'll just kind of let you take it. What'd you see from Flint again?
Yeah, this was a good game. It was fun to watch. Same thing with Flint this game. I mean, they kind of had a slow start-ish. I mean, it was pretty tight in the first quarter, 17-16. But as we moved into the second quarter, Flint only put up 8, where the Snipe Squad put up 20, so it kind of put them behind. But again, I think Flint Flint's game is just kind of chipping away at, getting those foul calls and putting them away on the free throw line. And they do a lot of like layups for each other. They have the offensive rebounds where they just are chipping away, getting those 2-pointers, those 1 points that kind of put them in the lead in that last quarter. And I mean, Snipe Squad had a really good game. I think that this was probably one of their better games. I mean, Flint was tired and Flint had, just played a whole game. But I think Case and Nick, they do a really great job of setting each other up. I think they're all about the dunks. I mean, you see it. They set each other up on the backboard, but I think Flint's D is kind of where they're strongest at right now, especially in those last two games. So I think just kind of chipping away and keeping the strong D, getting those blocks and those defensive rebounds. So.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. That's kind of what Flint basketball is. Smart, hard on the defensive side. Good on the boards. I want to give Snipe Squad a shout out, especially Angelo D'Amato. He is one of my favorite players to watch in this league. He has a lot of fun. He can shoot. He's an athlete. And him and Tim Case are really awesome to watch. But shout out my boys Flint. We did the job. We took out Snipe Squad. And, I mean, it's the same thing. We talked about Flint in the last few segments. But they just got to keep figuring out, who can kind of – Ryan Caggiano gave him 8. Mike Drouin gave him 7. If they can get about like 20, 30 from the bench guys – Nick and TJ are going to give you about 40 combined. So that's going to be a big thing going forward with them, especially when they play a little more better teams in the playoffs. But I don't want to take anything away from Snipe Squad. Shout out you guys. You guys played a hell of a game. You guys are never an easy out, and I love watching y'all play. Shout out your coach. I saw the coach was in a maroon suit. He was looking good, so shout out to him. And, speaking of a suit, I don't really have a transition for that, but Biggest Skis, Family First. This was a blowout, and I love Family First. Rico was my guy. He was part of my All-Star team last year, but Biggest Skis took it to them, and this was the best game I've seen the Biggest Skis play all year. Led by Jordan Moorhead and Demetrius Wilson, Jaden Valdelarma, Justin Moorhead. I mean, everyone was participating out there. Devin Serrano, who's their team captain, he barely did anything this game. He was looking at me like, I don't even have to do anything. We're just playing so well. So, I just want to give the Skis their credit. They're playing great basketball at the right time. They took out Family First when they were supposed to. You only play who's ahead of you. And they're playing a great game. They didn't have Miles Raymond that game either. He's one of their better players. So it's just really, really good to see this Biggest Skis team kind of come into their own, because in the beginning of the year it was looking rough. They weren't finding it. I know they had some free agents they were trying to get involved. So it's good to see them trending in the right direction and kind of figuring it out. So it's exciting to see what they can do. As far as Family First goes, they're just, I don't know. I don't know what it is. I feel like sometimes they just give up a few too many easy baskets. They shoot pretty well from three. I mean, 42% from three, 52% from the field. It's really not that bad. They just, I feel like, are giving too many easy baskets up. And when you play a team like Biggest Skis or one of the better teams in the league, they're far too athletic. And if you're going to give them, open lanes and easy shots, they're going to hit the shots and they're going to take those kind of open lanes. So going forward, I'd kind of like to see where the Biggest Skis could change that. Family First could change that. But, shout out to Biggest Skis. Y'all did your thing. You guys are doing great. And you got the Flint Tropics next week, and it's a big matchup for the Skis and the Flint Tropics, because I believe, if I'm looking at this correctly, where is it? I believe if Skis and Flint, they play next week, so the winner of this game is the 4 seed and the loser's the 5 seed. So it's a big game, a lot on the line. I kind of can't wait to see what happens. But before I let you go, Anna, I asked Quinn last week, I'll let you do it now. As of right now, if you had to pick one team to win the championship, could be any team, who are you picking?
I'd say Run TMC. I think that they've had a great showing these past few weeks, and especially that game against Flint last night. I think that they only had 4 players. They had no bench, and you couldn't even tell. I think that they have a really strong chance of taking it home. I mean, they're just kind of on top right now.
I completely know what you mean. It's very hard to not pick Run TMC at this point. they're playing really, really good basketball. And, you know, when Reggie's playing like that, it's going to be very, very hard to stop them. So I really don't hate that answer. Anna, if you got anything else for us, you know, any hot takes, any predictions, anything? We got a great week of Legacy basketball next week.
Yes, we do.
Well, I appreciate it, Anna. You know, for me, I'm Greg Horne. And actually, you know what? While we're here, Anna, you're welcome to stay. I'm just going to go over the potential playoff seedings. You're welcome to stay. You don't have to. But I'm just going to go over kind of what it's going to be looking like next week, because I'm going to share my screen, even though Joey doesn't want me to. There we go. So this is what we have for week 8 right now. I'm not going to move the screen or anything, but these are the games we have, and there's a lot of few things here and there we need. So TMC, like I said, has already clinched the 1 seed. They beat Get Money and Trailblazers head to head, so that's pretty good for them. They're looking like they would end up playing, I think, Family First, pending, because Family First can't get higher than the 6th seed, but they beat the 2 teams below them. So it's just all over the place here. And then Flint can't get higher than a 4 seed because they lost to both Get Money and Trailblazers. So it's all a mess here in the playoffs. It's going to be absolutely absolute chaos. So I kind of can't wait and see, you know, what this is really going to entail going forward. But yeah, I mean, I'm really excited. I'm excited to see if Snipe Squad can maybe get to the 7th seed, because I know before the year I said maybe they might be the 8th. So I don't know. Either way, it's going to be super, super exciting to see. But yep, for your host Greg Horne, for Anna, thank you guys so much. Seriously.